So now with this tunnel for our button to slide in being done, I would also like to have a small kind of like a bezel that would go around our button. And to precisely build a profile for that bezel setting, we, for example, could actually go ahead and offset this surface again. I'm going to offset it outside. And let's go into a side view. It might be easier to judge the distance. And maybe something like this would do it. And click offset. And I'm going to create currently another layer. Let's say this layer we call bezel, and then this part I move in there. Okay. And I'm going to use this offset surface to create another intersection curve on my joystick. So I can go to Surface Edit, Intersect, I just double click it, and I have on first surface selected. So that means if I now click on my joystick surface, that's the first surface, you can see it asks me to click go, and click go, and then it would like me to select the surface that intersects, which is the button. I clicked it, and when I hide now the layer with that offset surface, it shows that we have now a nice profile curve on the surface. And what we can do now is actually go into the curve mode. We create a curve, and then with pressing Control and having the point snap activated, I snap to kind of like this point. Go into right mode and zoom in a little bit, and then for a second I turn shaded mode off and maybe try to draw a curve kind of like this. And now I would like the last point to be right at this cross section. There are currently no points really to click to, but we can make use of the snap to curve. So I turn this one on. Also, when you click on the triangle, then you have a curve snap options, and it gives you, for example, a set amount of subdivisions. So if I snap to the curve, I have 10 points evenly spaced out on that curve I could snap to. And then when I click on this curve, there you see those blue lines. Those are the 10 intersection points. And I have one point here at the beginning. Right? Click, deactivate it. This one can go. Zoom out a little bit. And now there you see my curve. The last point rests on this profile curve, and the first point rests on the upper profile curve. So that looks not too bad, but actually what I really would like to do and make sure is that the way how this curve flows into the tunnel for the button, that it's actually tangent. And to do this, you can go to Object Edit and then double click on Align. And you have, for example, G0 position. That means if, for example, now I click on this curve, and now it asks me to select a master geometry, in our case, the tunnel surface, kind of like this one, then it aligns it so that one point to the surface is continuity-wise G0 position. So it just snaps to that point. But I would like it to be tangent, so I can select G1. And now you see that there is a very slight modification to it. And if I move this icon up and down, I can change a little bit the way how the curve grows. But this line is perfectly tangent to the surface. If you would like it to be more than G1, let's say G2, you can click it, and then you have a second controller. So now you have 1, 2, 3 points. That would be G2. So you have G2 basically means you have 2 points after the first point. And G1, you have 1 point after the first point to straighten the line and the transition, how then this curve flows into the neighbor surface. Then we can close this, and maybe let's go to CV edit. I'm going to pick this point, select nothing, select this one, and that one I would maybe kind of be like this. Okay.